That wasn't as dramatic as I thought it'd be. Chadandjamal, Jamal. Today's video is called 3 years in Bulgaria, 3 lessons that I have learned. I still, 3 years is crazy because, guys, honestly, it's just weird to think that I have been here for that long, because that's a good stretch of time. That's a good amount of time. And I never planned to live here for long, maybe 3 months, who knows, 3 weeks, 3 months. I had no real, deep plan. I didn't think I'd be in Bulgaria in 3 years, but here I am, and I plan to live here for the rest of my life. It's crazy. It's really, really weird. This video will be, let's say, going back in time and also just talking about some of the lessons I have learned along the way, and also sharing some of my favorite clips from previous videos. I really wanted to just compile some of the best parts of summer, of the past, of old videos that I have released, and just share them with you, but also make sure it brings value, make sure I contain some information, etc. So no more wasting time, guys. Let's go into it, okay? Let's get to lesson 1. So guys, I have some notes on my computer, so I will be dramatically turning every now and again, checking my notes, and then coming back to you. So you know, I'm not a professional vlogger. This is not my job. I just do it for fun. So yeah, that's why everything's so unprofessional. So there's no point crying in the comments. Just dislike the video. I'm joking. Don't dislike the video. Like the video and subscribe. So guys, lesson 1. Really? Yeah, okay, thank you. Sorry, the chair was just squeaking. So lesson 1. It's a really good one. I want to share it with you. Trust your instinct and take risks. And then in brackets, I've put, Bulgaria is not what I expected. Okay? Trust your instincts and take risks. What do I mean? And how did Bulgaria teach me this lesson? Before moving to Bulgaria, I was constantly told it's a dangerous place, it's an extremely poor place, it's not safe, it's not, nothing's happening there. There were so many bad things that I heard, not just from people, but also from Google. You do a Google search on Bulgaria, and unfortunately, it doesn't come up with the most positive of things. However, once I got here, I realized that actually Bulgaria is relatively accepting. And I know some people always hate when I say this in the videos. I get a lot of hate comments from people saying, you only show the positives. Well, I haven't experienced too many negatives here. And yes, I always say I come from a slightly privileged position, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, earned it. But regardless, I believe that people living, especially the people living in Bulgaria, probably don't realize how good sometimes Bulgaria is compared to Britain and Germany nowadays, and how safe it feels. Okay, it might not have the perfect clean cities or everything modern, but it definitely has safety, and it definitely has nice, kind, real people. One of the issues I had in the UK was that the society has been built upon a lot of, let's say, false behaviors. Okay, people aren't 100% honest with you, people aren't truthful, and in reality, it feels like a lot of the time, or at least in my experience, people don't like people in the UK. It's all an act. However, when I came to Bulgaria, if someone didn't like me, they would just say it. If someone liked me, they would welcome me into their home, give me some of their grandfather's homemade wine or rakia. I'd eat some of their homemade lukanka. I had never felt soul. And perhaps that's what I mean, okay? This country has soul and it has honesty, okay? And that's what I really appreciate. That's something I really, really like. So it wasn't what I expected. If you go onto BBC News and you put in Bulgaria, it'll come up with some, 20 idiots at a football game who did something, silly. Although they're allowed to, within the free market, they're allowed to behave how they want from an objectivist perspective. However, that's not all Bulgaria, and 99, or maybe 98% of people in Bulgaria, maybe 97, okay, 95% of people in Bulgaria are really welcoming, really loving, really friendly, and only want to give, let's say, a positive example to foreigners here. So don't be scared, come here, If you want to invest in the country, invest. If you want to work in the country, work in the country. If you're a Bulgarian and you're thinking about coming back, come back. It's not what the media tells you. Please, please do not listen to the news all the time. You will end up becoming a slave to it, okay? Some great examples. If you watched a recent video, I traveled to Chernivtsi and I ate a very unique green cheese. We had no plans. We just came to the guy's house. We heard, we asked some babushkas for directions. And then we went to the guy's house and was like, hey, are you the green cheese master? And he welcomed us in and he allowed us to taste his last batch of green cheese for the summer. That would not happen in England. They'd call the police, like, hey, why are these people outside my house? Here, you turn up to a cheese-making master's house. Hey, we heard this stuff on the internet about your unique cheese. Can we try some or buy some? And he's like, yeah, come into my home and taste my product. Wow, that doesn't happen. Another example, I've got one here. Kapanafest. You would never think that Kapanafest is Bulgaria. Like, if you go into Kapana, especially during Kapanafest, oh my God, the lights, the images that you see, it's just one big party with tons of international bands and loads of cool events going on. And you wouldn't know that. You'd think you're in London sometimes. So, you'd think you're in Shoreditch at times. It's crazy. It's really, really cool. Seaside, obviously it's called the Black Sea. People assume it's dirty. Check my summer videos. No, the water's extremely clear. Not all the time, but this summer it was super clear. In fact, my holidays at the beach this year in Bulgaria easily rivaled any holiday I have had in Mallorca or Spain or on the Canary Islands, because the water was super clear. It was 30 degrees every day. The food was fruit was fresh. Things were popping off. Even with this situation going on, it was an incredible experience. And moving on, another example of how welcoming Bulgarians are. Flashback to my first Bulgarian wedding, dancing horo in a line of 50 Bulgarians, just this one black guy just trying to do like amazing. Those are experiences you cannot buy, okay? So that's one lesson I've learned, okay? No matter where you are in the world, people are accepting, providing you are a high value human being, okay? So if you go into a place with an open heart, with high vibration, and you want to manifest a positive interaction with that human being, 9 times out of 10, people are going to respond to your energy. Humans are energetic beings. And by having a high vibration, by being a positive person when it comes to energy, you can only receive that, okay? And that's how I find my experience has been, especially after the first year in Bulgaria, really going into all these weird, crazy, wacky situations. And even when I'm speaking to people who maybe had never spoken to a black person before, I was able to really manifest long-term, high-quality relationships and interactions because I was honest and I was kind, and they gave that back. So yeah, Bulgaria wasn't what I expected with regards to that, okay? Should we keep recording? Yeah, we'll keep recording. So this chair is, I hope this doesn't come up in the video. It might sound like I'm farting, but really I'm not, trust me. Didn't have beans today. Lesson 2. The culture and history. Now, everybody knows from many of my videos, I talk a lot about the culture and history of Bulgaria. However, it's really understated. Bulgaria, bar none, I believe in Europe I believe Bulgaria has history, culture, historical sites that you can go into and visit that easily rival Greece, surpass Spain, and it really rivals Italy. And I'm not trying to toot Bulgaria's horn. I don't have an allegiance. I don't believe in states necessarily. Sure, I'm British. My passport says that, but I'm a human. I'm a human with a subjective experience. I don't belong to a country. But if we're going to talk about countries, then we're going to talk about Bulgaria and its history. or this region of the world, the Balkans especially, like it's really underrated. And I feel like Greece and Italy just have better marketing at times, because you can walk inside ancient fortresses here. Guys, you need to check out Vela Catanovo. You need to check out where else? The Sozopol. You should check out Neseba. Oh my god, my Neseba video, that was really underrated. It didn't get many views, but guys, you should check that out. It's insane. Like, Bulgaria has so much history, one of the cradles, especially if you're someone who's really into European history. I've said many times, I love anthropology, and I especially love European history, Proto-Indo-European tribes onwards, and I love West African history. Obviously, I can't go visit Ghana right now and look into West Africa and more about that, but I can definitely learn more about this part of the world, and what happened to the Proto-Indo-Europeans and how did they disperse. And if you read into it, you'll find that the Thracian Valley, the Thracians, the first few Thracian tribes, let's say one of the first few tribes within Bulgaria were, you could argue, some of the original Europeans who then spread through the world. So that's incredibly fascinating, and nobody mentions that. And there are countless Thracian tombs, Thracian gold, Thracian artwork everywhere. And this doesn't get mentioned because the world kind of functions on this this Catholic way of thinking, where like for example Rome or Italy, and then these have to be the center of European culture. When there could be an argument with better marketing and probably a little bit better, let's say, maintenance, Bulgaria could also be one of those let's say touristic hearts of Europe. So yeah, for sure, ancient history. Also the communist monuments. Made a video recently checking out some of the communist era monuments. Yeah, awesome. And aside from it being underrated in those regards, Bulgaria also has reasonable nightlife, especially if you go to Sofia. Plovdiv, I don't know. But it's just a massively underrated region culturally, especially when it comes to food as well, which will lead me to lesson 3, okay? This will be strong, but I believe that if we were to talk about, in a non-biblical sense, a place that you could call Eden, you'd be hard matched to find a place better than the Bulgarian mountains. If you're looking for, let's say, the metaphorical Eden, where food, fruit is abundant, sunshine is abundant, the air is clean, people are kind. Honestly, these small Bulgarian mountain villages are paradise. And they're massively underrated. So my lesson 3 would be, Bulgaria, if you are a nature lover, it will definitely bring that. Well, if you're not a nature lover, but you have the inclination to become one, then Bulgaria will do that to you. The biggest lesson that I got here was to learn to reconnect with nature. I grew up in a lot of towns and cities. I grew up disconnected from nature, I would say, especially in my early adult years. I had zero connection with nature. However, when I came here, and as soon as my feet touched the soil and I went into nature and I really explored Bulgaria and Bulgarian cuisine, I realized that it has close to unparalleled nature. Wow, it's insanely beautiful. If you are coming, I really recommend you check out, well, I've got a few places here, yeah. Siguvchark, where you can, and close to there, where you can pick wild mushrooms in the mountains, You can have barbecues in nature. Where did I go? Justina, I went to Ustina, where you can, for a very small price, you can explore vineyards and then go into the mountains. Obviously the beaches. Oh, you've got the wonderful bridges, on the way to Bachkovo Monastery. There's so much to see and to do. And you've got snowboarding, you've got skiing, the mountains. Honestly, if you're a nature lover, then come here, okay? And this is not a promotion video. Before someone comments, nah, you're paid by the Bulgarian Tourism Board. I wish I was. Guys, I wish I should be. The amount of foreigners that have messaged me, they're coming to Bulgaria. I should definitely be on the payroll. But no, I'm joking, I don't really care about that. But for real, one of the lessons that Bulgaria taught me was to just love nature, okay? So there you go, guys, just 3 little lessons and an opportunity for me to put some of my favorite clips together. I'll have more very new, fresh content coming this week. So yeah, let's go over the lessons. Lesson 1, okay, trust your instincts, okay? Bulgaria isn't what you expect. Lesson 2, this part of the world is massively underrated when it comes to culture. Lesson 3, it will turn you into a nature lover. That's for sure. Okay? So, very, very well edited. I'm joking, I'm sarcastic. Very unprofessional video, but I think that's what you guys like. I think that's what I like to do. I want to be real with you. I don't want to chop, make it all fancy, because I'm a normal dude. And I think that's something important to know, that I'm no one special. I'm just some dude working on the internet who luckily, for a friend, found out about Bulgaria and came here and started to build some sort of, let's say, what I would view as a dream existence, okay? And I feel like this is the perfect place. If you are a digital person, if you're an intelligent person, if you're someone who's motivated, then this is one of the best places to be in the world right now. Full stop, okay? Start making your plans if you are, okay? To close, let's talk about Plovdiv a little bit. I don't know anywhere really in Europe. Well, maybe there are a few places, but wherever you are in Plovdiv, you are 20 minutes away from almost like a mountain, the big hills. You're like 20 minutes away from climbing a beautiful hill where you have a 360 panoramic view of the city. Wherever you are, we can go for one end of Plovdiv and in 20 minutes be in another end. I don't know many cities like that. It's incredible. And yeah, another point to make. You're 30 minutes from the mountains, 2 hours from the beach, 2 hours from skiing and snow. Like, really, guys? 4 hours from Turkey, 2 to 3 hours from Greece. Come on, man, really? Like, how unique of a position is that? You're so connected to the rest of Europe and the rest. Like, you go to Turkey. Amazing. And yeah, obviously, little notes, cost of living is low, food quality is high, and most importantly, the people are real and they're kind. When you're kind to them, they're kind to you and they're real. That's something to keep in mind. I'm going to finish this video because it's getting way too long. Probably my final note would be, it's breaking my heart that many people are leaving. A lot of young people are choosing to leave. As you know, Bulgaria is one of the fastest shrinking countries in the world. But I'm hoping that in the future people will start to come back. Actually, one of my visions for this channel now is to really improve the quality of the content I produce and angle it so that I can probably motivate or bring more people back. So now I'm really I am intensely studying Bulgarian, and I'm going to use those language skills to create content that will inspire people to come back and maybe show them how they can make money online so that they can come back. You might ask why? Well, because I believe that when you generate value for society and the universe will simply reward you back. So it's also a selfish thing, because I know that if I bring many people back, I will also have good karma and have a platform for myself. But most importantly, I want this place to grow as well. If I'm going to live here, I want it to be as good as it can be. And I believe that maybe myself and quite a few other people on the internet don't have an obligation or a duty, because it's a free market. But I feel like in my heart there might be some sort of duty to try and promote this region, even if it's just to other Bulgarians who live in different countries, and to inspire people to try things that they believe maybe are impossible, because they're not. So yeah guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did get this far in, it's probably a very long video, but if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and I really appreciate you guys. So please, yeah, follow me on Insta, follow the Facebook page, do all those things, and I'll speak to you guys later this week, okay? Ciao, bye bye.